Welcome to episode 2 of Lost Signals. I am here with you again with JD. My name is Daryl. It is March 10th, 2021. For some reason, I just said 2019. It's like, God, I wish it was 2019 again.
Oh, simpler times.
Way simpler times. It's actually Mario Day today
Oh
because
yeah.
it's March 10th, so MAR10. That just proves how much of a nerd I am. And I mean, actually, I didn't notice that myself. I saw it on Twitter this morning.
Just
So I'm
you know
not.
what? I saw it. Here's the thing. I saw it on Twitter as well, and I didn't think anything of it until you just brought it up. You had to spell it out for me.
I know it's weird. It's one of those nerd things, I guess. You know, if you play enough video games, you just. I mean, let's be
I
honest.
suppose
Everything you see in some sort of way, like you're inundated in some sort of nerd culture.
this is true. Very true.
Like
How are you?
I'm peachy. It's Wednesday. The week is half over. Well, more than half over for me. Ready for the weekend, and the weather's been nice here. Like in the pluses.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's like melting and stuff. Today was a little cooler, but it's about. Sp- See, I'm a little nervous because spring in Saskatchewan is like it takes about a month and a half to actually hit properly. So yeah,
Prince,
it's gonna be +7 this weekend, but it could be -40 next.
yeah,
So
well, yeah. Prince George, not so much the same, but because we live in a mountain valley, we're literally surrounded by mountains. Um, we are going to be dealing with the thaw, freeze, thaw, freeze, thaw, freeze for a while, and there's still a chance that we could get like a decent amount of snow at any given time. Most, no, of course, during nighttime, but
yeah,
still, it's
yeah.
just
Well, you
yeah.
guys are
It's not until we get into the thick of April. It's like okay, now we can say it's spring.
and maybe consider putting your winter jacket away.
Exactly,
Maybe
and
I don't know. It's
maybe yeah, maybe
yeah
go for that third or fourth barbecue.
yeah yes. So
So
you sent the group a picture this morning, and it looked a little ouchy. I
painful.
guess is
Yeah.
the right way to put it.
Can
Uh,
you? I know I'm putting you on the
I'm
spot
not.
here, but can you bring it up?
Nah, not yet.
No, because I'm not gonna take off my shirt.
No, I was actually thinking about that at work this afternoon. It's like he's gonna show that picture, or he's gonna take his shirt off. So
No, God
no, we won't be.
no.
No male nudity yet.
No, yeah, maybe around episode 69.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Nice.
Um. So yeah, I got this massive bruise that goes from the top of my shoulder straight down to the middle of my back, completely on my left side, and it looks worse than it feels. But how it felt about 24 hours ago, so that'd be March the 9th, was excruciating. So backstory: how did I hurt myself, and how did I get to this point? High school,
So
I
like a
played.
1,000 years ago.
At
Sorry,
least a couple
sorry.
of decades,
Yeah,
yes.
you're not wrong.
So yeah, so high school, I played high school football. I also played high school baseball. I also was in high school wrestling, and I injured myself in football. I didn't think anything of it. My shoulder felt a little bit weird. Uh, about a week later, I had a wrestling tournament to go to, and you know the Olympic German suplex, where one guy gets behind the other guy and just heaves him over his
Yep.
head.
Yeah.
Unlike Brock Lesnar in WWE,
Yep.
you don't let go. It is a pinning maneuver.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
So that is and I don't know if it's different these days, but when I was in high school, that was a banned maneuver, and for good reason. Um, I got into the wrong position. I was being suplexed over this guy's head, which immediately I knew I was in for some trouble. He he dropped me on my head, and I was knocked out. I woke up in an ambulance, and the paramedic said, "Sir, are you okay?" I said, what's, huh?" He goes, "Sir, you're suffering from a concussion, and your left shoulder is completely dislocated."
Oh no.
Like,
I think I'd rather have the concussion.
well, I got both. So,
twofer, nice.
The ambulance ride on the way, I kept like, my body was like, do something, move your shoulder. And the paramedic kept telling me, like, don't do it, like, wait for the doctors, because the doctors will help put it in place. And I, like, it was just one of those things where it's like my body was just screaming at me, like, you gotta fucking fix this now.
Yeah.
And so when the paramedic wasn't looking, I jerked my shoulder and went wham, and it got right back into place. I let out a scream that drowned out the siren.
I can just imagine.
Yeah. So then I got to the hospital. I had a severe concussion.
Yep.
And I popped my own shoulder back into place. But doing so, I buggered my shoulder and my neck for years on end. Now, I didn't figure this out until I was about maybe 24 years old, and then I started having these constant pains that would show up every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I mean constant as in, like, it's not one of those things like, something's wrong.
It's
and
like
then it goes
chronic.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So it from the age about 24, 25 moving forward, every once in a while, like, my neck would be out or my shoulder would be out, or I'd be doing something normal that I'd, just an everyday thing, whatever, and then my shoulder would click and like, fuck. And then like I'm out for a couple of days. Sunday night, I'm at home and just relaxing, watching TV, and I can feel something like behind my shoulder blade, like something's like a knot's forming or something like that. So
yeah.
I hit it with an ice pack, and I had the girlfriend throw some Tiger Balm on that stuff, swear by it. And took a couple of Advil, and no big deal. Woke up 4:30 in the morning on Monday, and it felt like I got stabbed.
Oh.
It was just shooting pain through my shoulder and my shoulder blade, and it went straight up my neck.
Oh, man.
And like I woke up, like, tears were running down my face, and it was bad. I couldn't get out of bed. So struggled through the day, ice packs, heating pad, ice packs, heating pad, Advil, everything possible. Got through the day. Then yesterday, like, even worse, like, could barely get out of bed. Literally had to, like, flop on the floor out of bed, and then brace myself, get up, and like try to get some movement back in the shoulder. So the girlfriend says, you should go for massage therapy. Little known fact, I used to be a massage therapist. I had never actually seen a massage therapist since then.
I did not. I'm learning something new here.
Yeah. Being a massage therapist actually is what helped me put me through broadcasting school.
So many jokes I could make there, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. And there's so many jokes I could tell.
Yeah. Even better. That's a story for another time.
So, like, I do know a fair bit about massage therapy protocols and muscle manipulation and all that stuff. A couple of years ago, I was again having a stiff neck, and I was telling one of my broadcast partners at the station, like, fuck, I just can't. This guy nagging pain in my neck. He goes, well, you should go see my massage therapist. I said, well, I guess. He goes, no, you can do it like right now. You're not doing anything right now. You're done work for today, right? I said, yeah. He goes, he's right across the street. I highly recommend him. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. I trust this guy. So go across the street, and there's that UFC fight in the background.
It's they're bad.
Anyway.
I had to mute that for a second just because they're dicks.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Go across the street, and I asked for the massage therapist that my coworker suggested.
Yep.
And okay, you want so and so. He's got a free booking opening up in like a half an hour. I was like,
Yep.
perfect, thank you. So I sit down, waiting for this guy to have me fill out this form, but the form to me didn't make any sense, and so I tried to fill it out as best as possible. And the guy, then he comes out and he goes, "You're JD." I said, "Yeah, Darren recommended you." He goes, "Huh, okay. Your form?" I pass him my form, and he looks at it and he goes, "It's your shoulder." I said, "No, sorry, I, I couldn't understand what this thing is that you have it on this paper. It's like a diagram of a human body, but I didn't realize I had to be like both sides type thing,
Yeah.
right? So I just marked the one side, and I said, no, it's actually both sides and my neck." He goes, "Oh, okay. Well, come on in." And so we go into the room that he works, and he goes, "Okay, I'll give you a few moments. Uh, Take off your shirt, remove your pants, get underneath the blanket." And I look at him and go, "My pants?" It's like I
It's like,
said,
what kind of massage parlor did you send me to, Darren?
I said, it's my neck and shoulders. He goes, "It's standard protocol."
I don't know, man. I'd be like, it's I don't know.
So like, all right, your house, your rules. Fine,
Yep.
I'm confident. Whatever. So get underneath the blanket, and he's only working the one side, and it's my upper shoulder.
Yep.
And I again, like I'm face down into this thing in this table, and he's he's talking, but he's not listening, and I'm trying to tell him like, can you work on the right side, and he's not moving. And so we get through this entire massage therapy session,
Yep.
and he leaves again, and I put on my fucking pants. And
Didn't even get a happy ending out of it. Sorry, I had to do the one. Okay, there's too many openings there. I'm sorry. I had my joke. Okay.
Actually, Dark Avenger is saying that the video is kind of choppy, and actually I can see it on this side too. It is kind of choppy.
That I don't know.
Do you have too many windows open?
Maybe. Let's close that. That should help.
Okay, so $80 later. Fortunately, it was covered. It was covered in my benefits. I go back to the radio station, and my neck is feeling worse, right?
Yeah.
Because he only worked on one side, is my upper shoulder, and I go back to my buddy, and I go like, "That was just." He goes, "Well, what's wrong?" I go, I tried to tell him, like, he gave me this graph, this picture, like where to work and blah blah blah, and I didn't understand it, so I did it wrong, and I tried to explain to him. He goes, "Oh yeah, he's hard of hearing." Well, what? So there's a good chance he didn't hear a goddamn thing I said throughout this entire massage therapy session. He goes, yeah, probably. I said, okay, and explain the pants thing. And my coworker goes, "Pants thing?" I said, yes. I asked him to work on my neck and shoulders, and he had me remove my pants. He goes, "Well, that's new."
Oh wow. That's
okay.
That's.
So,
are you sure that was a legit massage parlor?
I don't know. So to end this first experience since me learning how to give massage therapy, to go to another massage therapist, my neck was just screaming at me. So while same day, like an hour later, I put two fingers, thumb and forefinger, on either side of my neck, and I just pushed inward, and it sounded like I was snapping plywood.
Hey.
But my God, the relief that followed.
Oh, I bet.
So to finish this entire story of why my shoulder is and my back is all black and blue, my girlfriend said, "You should go see a massage therapist." It's like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
She goes, "Well, you should go see this specific one." I go see this specific one. They also do something called cupping. I think I've seen that. It looks like
I've heard of it.
Like, it looks like someone's a victim of like Japanese tentacle porn.
Yeah.
She goes, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, anything's worth the effort at this point in time. It's like, good point. So I go to this massage therapist, and she again brings me into the room that she works, and she goes, "Okay, so where's the problem? I said, it's here behind my shoulder blade, solely on my left side, all the way up to my neck. She goes, okay, remove your shirt.
And your
I was
pants.
waiting for it. I was waiting for it. She goes, remove your shirt, get under the blanket. And I kind of laughed and went, you got it.
It's
So-
way better than the last time.
So she then proceeds to like she puts her hands on me and she goes, you need to relax. I said, I am. She goes, oh, this is
Ooh.
your problem. I went, yeah.
Yeah.
She goes, it feels like you're flexing. And like, I wish I wasn't. Right?
Yeah.
So she ended up working on me for a full 45 minutes and using the cup method, which is why I have this massive bruise, because cupping is using a cup and basically suction into this cup and then pulling your skin into it, which is basically pulling the tissue and the muscle and whatnot up from your body, which also is like basically getting a gigantic hickey.
Oh yeah. Yep.
But yeah, and yeah, Chris just said Markiplier did it. The Rock did it as well, and
Yeah.
there's many different athletes that look like they got attacked by an octopus because they got these weird purple circles around them.
Yeah.
I'm moving the microphone around because
You're
Anyway,
it's all freaking out over there. Okay. It's all good. It's all good, man.
So anyway, 45 minutes later, a cupping session, whatever. I was like, okay, like everything hurts, but it doesn't hurt like it used to, right?
Yeah.
And I got full motion back in my neck. I can raise my shoulder. Like everything's looking promising. And like now, I just got up off the table and I look in the mirror and I look at at my back. I'm like, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So she goes, okay, so you might see some bruising a little bit later. It could probably last for a couple of days, at most a week. I went, that's fine. Chicks dig bruises. I get to work and I got movement. I can move. Things are still stiff, but at least it's feasible. Anyway, finish work, come home, take off my shirt, and look in the mirror like, whoa, geez. Like it looks like I got hit by a car.
Yep. And then the picture you sent me is like, holy Jesus. Looked like somebody spilled a bottle of red wine on your back.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right. But I woke up this morning, had no problems getting out of bed, had no problems moving my hands, moving my arms, moving my neck. And the only other thing that I had done to maybe help facilitate healing was I took 2 liquid gel Advil last night. That's it.
Which probably in the long run wouldn't have done a whole bunch, I would think.
No.
It's just that
So
they work, but they don't really work in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, especially if you're talking pain like that. So have you?
it's a little tender now.
Yeah.
Right. Which is why it's like it's even just sitting here and turning this way is just like a little bit uncomfortable.
It's just the
but-
pain you do for the pod, man. I get it. Yeah.
But 24 hours ago, like I probably wouldn't have been able to do this, and I probably would just like tears streaming down my face because I was just in so much pain.
So did you ever see a doctor about like the actual like shoulder injury
No.
And
that's why I said earlier, I'm suffering for a mistake I made years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now I know it's not too late, and I probably should see a physiotherapist.
Yeah.
Just to prevent this from ever happening again. And there's a chance that it's way worse now because I've been working out a lot more and I'm putting on more muscle, so there's more there to hurt.
Yeah.
But Jesus, don't enough of the.
So don't get
male
suplex,
out of
kids.
bullshit. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, don't get suplex.
If you're hurt, go get fucking help.
Yeah. Don't put your shoulder in yourself either, unless you're a trained professional or something. But
God.
yeah.
I can still remember that. I can still remember the pain.
I can imagine. And I had I had super bad ankles in high school. Like it was to the point where like I could be walking and I'd just sprain an ankle.
God.
Like it was bad, like so bad. Like they put me in a cast a couple times. I know that feeling, and I I don't anymore, but it's just I know that horrid feeling of just that tearing. Ugh. Anyways,
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my that bruise on my back is gonna be there for like a couple of days, and
Oh,
it's actually already starting to look better than it did this morning. So
oh, I bet. Yeah. Well, you
So-
you learn, right? But I mean, again, if it works, I mean, like I don't know a whole bunch about like the actual theory behind why cupping does work, but I mean, if it works for you and if it's pain relief, give her, right?
all I know is that you know 2 mornings in a row it was a challenge to get out of bed.
Yeah.
And this morning it's not like I bounced out of bed, but
But
I got out of bed
Yeah.
like a normal human being.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm glad you're up and moving around because like that laying in bed, it sucks, man.
yeah, like, being stuck in bed sucks.
Oh
too.
yeah.
Like, I gotta pee.
And it's like a 45-minute ordeal to get out of bed to go pee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was that.
So let's get to our first topic here. I actually did a little more work this week and coming up with some topics to go over.
Good.
So big news today in the CFL. Backstory: I'm a big CFL fan. Have been since I remember watching the Rough Riders win the Grey Cup in 1989.
Oh,
I was 8 or 9. I've been to 2 Grey Cups.
cool.
One in 1995 and the other one in 2013. I was actually on the field in 1995. I was part of the opening ceremony because I was in Air Cadets.
Cool.
So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, anyway, enough about that. I'm a Rider fan. Like that's just it comes with the territory of where I live. And
I'm a BC Lions fan. I've been to a handful of BC Lions games inside BC Place.
I've also been to
always-
BC Place.
I've always been a fan of the CFL. In fact, I was a fan of the CFL years before I was a fan of the NFL. And that was just out of Canadian pride.
Yeah. I personally won't. It's not that I won't watch the NFL. It's just I don't find it as exciting. There's a lot.
Raw and visceral
Yeah.
about CFL.
I call it controlled chaos because there's pretty much anything can happen on the field at any given time. That's the way, and that's what I prefer.
Yes.
So being COVID, couldn't play a season last year. So there's a lot of teams that are probably hurting for cash. Like it's not a huge league. There's not a lot of money to go around. There was an announcement this morning, I think. There's some.
I think it was this morning.
I think so. Yeah, it was. I think a series of tweets between this the CFL actual the official page and the XFL page. That the XFL and CFL are aligning. Now, nobody really knows anything that I've read. Like, nobody knows exactly what that means.
On Wednesday, the Canadian.
Go ahead. Nope.
Okay. On Wednesday, the Canadian Football League and the XFL owners, Danny Garcia, Dwayne Johnson, and Redbird Capital announced that they are discussing opportunities for collaboration on how to, quote unquote, grow the game of football. CFL Commissioner Randy Ambrose said in a statement, quote, Canada has an exciting game and devoted fans, and our discussions with the XFL provides a tremendous opportunity to build on that strong foundation.
I mean, I look at it this way. So you got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson owns the XFL. There's some cash there.
Yes, there is.
He played in the CFL. He didn't play long. He was on the practice roster for 2 months for the Calgary Stampeders in 1995. And also, I don't know if you knew this, Roman Reigns from WWE played for the Edmonton sorry, I can't say that. The Edmonton football team. Because they are in they're in the process of changing the name, and that's a whole nother ball of wax that I'm not touching with the 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
But he played a full season for Edmonton in 2008. Yep. Obviously not under the name Roman Reigns. Anyways.
No, that's a stage name.
Yeah. But anyways, so there's a history there between the Rock's family, like Dwayne Johnson's family, and the CFL. Plus, his dad was born in Nova Scotia. Um, so there's proof there that there is some love for the game, and I'm hoping that like we're gonna interject some cash here. We're gonna keep the game alive. Um, yeah, I don't know what to say about this because like a lot of people are saying it's like, oh, what if they want us to play 4 down football? It's like then I won't watch anymore.
That's
It's
just it.
like you can't
Where
the game's like the Canadian game has been around for a really long
way
time.
longer, way
So
longer.
and there's a lot of history there. It's like you can't just like up. Okay, we're short of cash. We're just gonna up and like merge with this other league, and then that we're just gonna be gone. It's like you can't do that. If it's like a partnership where like they want to have like an all-star game, or like they want to do like a super series like how the NFL started, and that you want to put your best team against our best team, cool. But to just completely inundate ourselves with another league like that, I mean, we tried the American expansion back in the day. It didn't work.
No, it did not. No, because it confused a lot of people.
Well, yeah, I mean, and actually, the
So
Grey Cup I was at in '95, I think Baltimore won that. They beat Calgary in 1995. Yeah, very odd. So, like,
yeah,
the very first CFL game I saw was a team that's now defunct.
well, I mean, the very first NBA game I ever saw was it was a team that is now defunct.
Yeah.
So yeah, the question is, where is the middle ground? Because you have the NFL, which they have a set of rules. They have
Yes.
the CFL, which is a league that has a slightly different set of rules.
Yes.
Then you have the XFL, which is already a hybrid of the NFL, but they have
Yeah.
no standing at this point in time.
Yeah, it's because
What was
like so this will be the third iteration of the XFL. The original back in I want to say 2000 2001, give or take. It's Vince McMahon that owned it. Folded
Tried to
after a
make it-
year. Yeah.
tried to make it too much entertainment?
It was
Not
too
enough
much,
support.
yeah, too much WWE.
Yes.
And then they came back I think 2 years ago. They played one season, again, folded.
Was it even a complete season?
You know, was that another victim of COVID? Like-
It clearly was a victim of COVID. Clearly,
But, like-
this was
Like I want to say that they were playing games like last spring. I just can't remember.
they
but-
were scheduled to play games last spring, but everything shut down.
Yes. So
Right.
like and that was like the beginning of their first season, right? Yes. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
So I think they shut themselves down and then went into receivership, I think, because there was no money.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then
the
The
Rock
Rock
stepped in.
came. Yeah, The Rock came along and went, "I can make money off of this."
Well, yeah,
and-
that I'm sure that's what he's thinking. I mean,
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
he can. He's not a dumb business person.
no.
In fact, he's probably a lot more in tuned with business and whatnot than Vince McMahon is to on this day. Vince McMahon had been a brilliant business person and
In the
brilliant
80s
marketer.
and 90s, yes.
Had been
Yeah.
right. At this point in time, anyone who watches the WWE and watches anyone from the NXT roster come up to the main roster and watch their gimmick completely fucking die will agree that Vince McMahon is probably a little too much out of touch. But The Rock,
Is not.
Dwayne Johnson, has seen something and has been able to basically turn darn near anything, including himself, into a gold mine.
Yes. 100% agree.
So the big question is, yeah, okay, so you have this entire league just turnkey, ready to go, but you have nothing to stand on in time. And there's going to be a partnership, which I think would be a brilliant idea,
Yeah.
with the CFL. Where is the middle ground going to be?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of questions. I mean, like, what kind of field would they play on? Would they play with Canadian rules? Would they? I mean, okay, so I know there's actually there's specific players I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was a couple players that played for the Riders that went to the XFL because they weren't able to cross the border again, criminal record or whatever other reasons.
Oh.
There's reasons like that. They're like, yeah, well, I'm going to go play in the CFL because court order or anything. You know, like I mean,
Yeah.
so I mean that's going to come into effect like later down the line if there's some sort of like super series or whatever. Like you play the top two teams or whatever.
Yeah.
I like the idea of putting a bunch of cash into it, and if it can grow both leagues, I mean, I look at it how like the seasons for the XFL were. It started, I want to say like January, February, I think right when the NFL started, and then ran to like the middle of summer. So they had
I
their
thought it was
championship.
supposed to be. Sorry, I thought it was supposed to be after the NFL started.
Yeah,
After
so
the NFL finished.
yeah, in February.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
February to I think like the beginning of summer,
Right.
which
Yes.
like and the CFL starts May. I think they're starting now, early May, June through there.
Mhm.
So there's a perfect crossover there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. What are we looking at? Are we looking at collaboration? Are we looking at exhibition games? Are we looking at a super series, the XFL champion versus the CFL champion? Which I might add, the Grey Cup is over a century old.
the last one was 107, and the 108th was supposed to be in Regina this year, last year.
The only other trophy that even comes close to being that old is the Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
The Grey Cup, or the Super Bowl, like
the
what they
Vince
just
Lombardi is like 55 this year. Like, yeah, that's.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm just, I'm just saying there's a history, right?
yeah, you can't throw away that history. You just can't
No.
because it's just there's too much of it. There's too many stories that have been told and that need to be told yet.
Yeah.
Like, so a collaboration, great. I mean, it's just the way like that the CFL has been collaborating with there's a league in Mexico, there's a league in Italy, there's a German league, so what's the difference of aligning with them compared to the XFL?
I think you think about it, just the very simple two basic rules of one last down and 5 extra yards makes the game a lot more exciting, a lot more challenging,
Yeah.
and a lot more fast paced because you don't have that 4th down to play with.
Yeah.
You go 3rd down, you're like, well, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so you have to make less mistakes.
You need to make more out of nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? And that extra 5 yards. I mean, how many times have you watched a NFL game and they hit the goal line?
Oh yeah.
And they can't make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adding that again, you're listening to the opinion of 2 Canadians.
Yeah.
Right. But it'd be the same as the NHL playing on Olympic-sized ice, which gives you more.
Which does happen. I mean, like
Yeah.
like at the Olympics, which
Yes.
and that the next Olympics, the NHL players will be back for it.
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
which is good. But
Which it opens things up and makes things more exciting. There's more possibilities to happen, right?
you know what I'd like to see, and like I'd like to see, say, the 2 top teams in the NFL play Canadian rules. Canadian field, extra 10 yards, a longer, deeper end zone, wider field. I'd like to, like, let's be honest. Like, the NFL players are like the top athletes in the world for playing football. That's
100%.
without question.
Yeah.
And Loki's chasing his tail right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah. But to see them play like on a Canadian field, it would just be. I think it'd be interesting to see like to see like how well they would fare. Just, come here, you little shit.
Yeah. You give those players, those very talented players, a little bit more room to play.
Yeah.
You know,
Like you'd
and
be a
watch
lot.
the
I think.
fireworks.
Well, you look at how high scoring like CFL games can get. Like I was at the second highest scoring CFL game of all time. There was 105 points scored between the two teams. It was.
It's true.
Yeah, it was the home opener for the Riders in 2010 against Montreal, and it was after the stupid 13th man incident, which I still haven't watched, and I refuse to watch, and we're not even going to talk about it because it makes me
You
mad.
weren't there, man. You weren't there.
Yeah. But that was the most intense game I've ever been to. I mean, I was at the Grey Cup in 2013 when the Riders won, and that wasn't intense because it was just a blowout. But yeah. Anyways, I'm hoping for nothing but good things because that league can't go away. You know, like
CFL.
The CFL can't go away.
Yeah.
Like there like you said, there's too much history there. There's too much opportunity. You know, like for Canadian players, you know, that maybe you're not going to be good enough to make it in the NFL, but you know, you can go play in the CFL for 10 years. Like look at Chris Getzlaff. His brother played in the NHL for how long? Had a 10 or 12 year career in the CFL. You know, just anyways. It's just it's something that I don't think we can let go.
No.
So if it means kind of signing a deal with the devil for a little bit to make some cash. Not saying that Dwayne Johnson's the devil, but you know what I mean? Like to sign some of our, you know, individuality away to keep yourself afloat is what it is, right?
Yeah, well, you also have to think too, like who's gonna benefit the most on either side. You have finances and you have publicity, right? Now the CFL could probably benefit by any sort of partnership, no matter what it could be financially.
Yeah.
But the XFL, I mean, they need something. They need a stable rock to stand on. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Because this will be the third kick, right? So
most people don't get more than one, especially when it comes to a whole league of things, right?
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
So I think like publicity wise, the XFL, like this is going to be a smart move, and what may come of it, be it like a super series or the occasional exhibition game or interplay, whatever the case may be, it could be exciting. And you know, as long as the XFL can have some sort of sustainability, for crying out loud, then I mean, this could really benefit the CFL and the XFL.
I think it could benefit everybody.
Yeah, and in turn, the NFL, because you are still putting a spotlight on the sport as a whole.
Yeah.
So this will be interesting.
Let's see where it goes. You know, like what's the worst that could happen?
You know, what's the worst that can happen? Just the same shit has already happened.
Exactly. Yeah.
The CFL continues to play, and the XFL just packs their bags and
withers
goes
away
off.
again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Then
I hope
the Rock
not.
comes out with Hobbs and Shaw Part 2.
Oh yeah.
So what's this Eve 6 thing?
So one of my favorite bands from high school was Eve 6. And like I don't even know how to quantify this whole situation that's been going on with them.
Well, first of all, if you are unfamiliar with Eve 6, chances are you are. I believe their biggest hit was
Inside Out.
Inside Out,
The Heart in the Blender song. That's
Exactly.
and we'll get into that. Sorry.
So the first 10 seconds of Inside Out by Eve 6, you'll go, oh them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, Eve 6.
So their Twitter page has been like I know why they're doing it. So their Twitter's been blowing up lately. So like if you go on Twitter, if you have it, just search Eve 6. And it's like they're tweeting every like 10 minutes about everything and nothing. They were tweeting about the American election, which again we're not going to get into.
Okay.
They've been tweeting about just like every dumb thing, and I mean the reason why they're doing it is because they have a new album coming out.
And they're relentless at this point in time.
Yeah.
They're answering themselves.
Yeah, what was the one that I was reading to you before we went on? Michael Stipe was a fucking genius at pretending he was shy. And then, do millennials know who Michael Stipe is?
Yeah.
Probably not.
They should do a Hunger Games version of Burning Man. And just like that, there was only one rich white tech hippie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like they're super. It seems like they're super woke right now, and I hate using that term, but that's kind of what they're like. Capitalism is a rigged game for the rich. They tweeted this 5 hours ago. Like like Fleshlight 182. Just random things, and like I think it's hilarious. Like they went from being like not like to being washed up, let's call it that, like a band from the 90s that wasn't really doing a whole lot, to now they got a new album and they got like a ton of new followers. It's just weird, and I enjoy it. It's just weird.
The car company Kia released a press junket saying Kia released teaser images of its next electric car, the EV6, and then Eve 6 took upon themselves to retweet saying Kia can expect the feel of the full weight of our legal team, bitch. Like, all right,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but it's like it's right up my alley because it is so ridiculous. It's like, what are you fucking talking about? But no, they're just I think they're just doing it for the publicity for their new album.
Yeah. Well, there's a pinned tweet on there that was done back in December, and it says, "I think we're going to be huge again." Like,
I don't
okay.
know.
Whatever. Call your shot.
Yeah. I saw that tweet, and then I heard the new song, and I'm like, nah, you're not. No, you're not. Like, and I love the band, and I've been back to the whole vinyl thing that we were talking about last week.
Yeah.
I've been looking for the first Eve 6 album on vinyl for forever, but I am not paying $800 for it.
$800 for an Eve 6 vinyl?
So there's a re-release, I think, in 2018, where it would have just been a regular run-of-the-mill release. But they, like the original ones from like the 90s, yeah, they're like stupid expensive. Like,
why?
Because they didn't make a whole bunch of them. It's like, so I'm just gonna look it up here.
Limited release. You're controlling the market.
Yep.
I see.
Let's see.
Now, was that a mistake? Was that a budgetary issue? Was that clever marketing?
Like with the the new album? Okay, no, I guess that's not that expensive. What was I thinking? I was thinking something else that got re-released that was super expensive. No, it's not this. 190.
Still
for a limited edition. But and like, we talked about vinyl last week. We never really talked about like how stupid some of these prices get. Like,
digging into your collection.
I'm digging. Just give me a second.
I can't do that. My collection is like across the room, underneath my record player.
Okay, this is Lights. You probably know of Lights.
Yes.
Yes. This record, like $300.
Why?
Because of the color of it. It's because it's white.
Oh.
It was a special variant. I bought it because I I know I like that the album, and this is the
Mhm.
acoustic version. I'm like, screw it. I had some cash. Yeah, and when it went up, like vinyl is stupid that way. It's just like like the super limited edition stuff. People go nuts for, and they'll get sold for like a dumb amount of money.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, vinyl seems to retain uh, a better price than any other medium out there. I mean, the caveat being like if you happen to get your hands on the original demo tape for the Foo Fighters, which was after finding out the initial launch of the band, every single instrument was played by Dave Grohl. If you happen
yeah.
to get your hands on that demo cassette, yeah, that's
Hmm.
a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
But
and
but if
there'll be certain CDs that are the same way.
exactly, right? But vinyl uh, always has had that extra bit of value when it comes to collection
Yeah,
and collectors, as it were.
yeah.
You know,
Well, I mean, you look at it; it's the medium that's been around the longest for for music wise. I mean, let's since the 60s, 50s,
oh, way
40s.
back. Yeah, well, okay, we're talking about records, not
Yeah,
necessarily vinyl,
yeah, yes,
right?
records.
Because I have records that are like 1920s, but they're ceramic,
Yeah,
right?
but you could probably put it on on a record player, right?
You play it once.
Yeah, but the point remains the same that like we're talking a medium that's 100 years here compared to CDs and
Yeah.
tapes and 8 tracks that have all come and gone.
Yeah.
I think that's why vinyl is still worth so much, because you can listen to something from the 1960s. I mean, you could with a tape too or whatever, but I mean, it's not the same.
It's vinyl. Like, you're not going to walk into a Sunshine Records or any sort of music store and find a retro 8-track.
No,
You know,
You're
not
gonna
gonna
you're gonna find vinyl though.
you're gonna find a record player, and in fact, you're gonna find an entire selection of record players, from cheap ones to high quality ones to ones with Bluetooth to ones that are able to rip off of a record. I mean, you're gonna be able to find many different things.
I walked into I walked into
Nice.
London Drugs in Saskatoon the other day, and this was
Yeah.
there. It's like the first Snoop Dogg album in London Drugs
That is
on
hilarious.
vinyl. Like, and it's just it doesn't make any sense, right? But screw it. I like
Yeah,
it.
no.
Like, I need to buy a new player.
Yeah. I have a beautiful record player
Yeah.
that I got off of a ex-girlfriend of mine.
Hmm.
uh
Going away
Funny
present.
enough, it's hey, what?
Going away present.
She had no idea. It is currently sitting in the entertainment center that she bought for me. Uh,
Very nice of her.
but it is like a couple of years before she gave me that record player. My brother decided, I know my brother enjoys talking about me records, and he has his own selection. I'll buy him a record player.
Yeah.
And he bought me this cheap piece of shit. And try as I might to make this thing sound good
Yeah.
and work well, it just wasn't happening because it was just made out of inferior materials.
Plastic.
This record
Yeah.
player, yeah,
Yeah.
like it sounded like the audio that was coming out of this very cheap record player. I'm not even sure if I have it anymore. Sounded like the needle was just constantly losing weight, and so the
Okay.
audio quality was just waving.
Yeah.
Right. The record player that I have now, I mean, this surprisingly is high quality stuff. So much so that when I took it out of the box and then went through the instructions, I actually had to open the turntable and place the belts properly
Oh, very nice. Belt
into
driven.
position.
Yeah.
Hey,
Belt driven. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So like, a beautiful, beautiful thing. Um, and I'm so grateful for it because like it plays the best quality possible that I can think of beyond any sort of technology, way beyond
Yeah,
my budget.
yeah, and we yeah
But
we talked about like the difference between vinyl and uh, digital last week,
yeah,
but
exactly.
we can talk
But
about it again too.
but like the I guess the point is that like vinyl and just records in general have that extra value when it comes to collectability.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, and it seems
there
like
are
every band and their dog is doing a new release or re-release and with a special variant, and they're doing like like 8 different versions of it.
yeah, yeah, I know.
Like so one more set of records I'm going to show you, and then we can move on to this. But
Sure.
okay, so remember last week I was saying that I was waiting for a package to come with records in it. Yeah,
Yes.
I got them. These two are
Ooh.
the exact same. The exact
And
same
an
album.
autograph.
Yeah, they're autographed. So the funny thing is, like, they're the exact same songs on them. There's 8 songs on the whole thing.
Okay.
So, but
Explain what they are because this is an audio podcast as well.
is true. This is the new Intervals album. They're call it jazz metal jazz,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
It's all instrumental and it's different and it's weird but I really like it. But yeah, I also got this though.
Test pressings.
Yes.
Ooh.
So if you were in the first 100 to order this album, you got that with it in a special package. It was the vinyl collector's package, and they only sold 100 of them, and it's both variants. And I won't pull them out now because it's a pain in the ass to get them out. Well, they're okay now.
No.
I'll pull one of them out.
All right, fine.
I should have just did an unboxing for my channel, but
Oh,
this
thoughts
is
for another time.
yes, this is one of them.
Oh, that is stunning. My
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah. So
So
like
the record is
there's
how do you
I've
explain that?
seen like it's called a mint chip. So what they do, they take a when they're putting the vinyl into the press, they take it. It's like putting like sprinkles on a donut before it goes into the press, and it's wax, so it
Right.
melts and it's like spread out and whatever, and it's just intense, like the way that they do some of these now. So
Mhm.
I know that's not the greatest way to describe it, since this is an audio podcast, but
So the best way I could describe that is, you know, the like spin art where you have a piece of
Yeah.
paper in like a centrifuge and then you drop a little bit of paint in it and it just shoots out to the sides.
yeah,
That's
that's a very apt description of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Like
It's
that's almost something that you want to like you put it up on the frame.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you have,
And the thing
That is-
is, like, I have a bunch of those that are all
Okay.
similar to that. Like, but yeah, it's fun. And that's why I like collecting, because you get these weird variants. And I'm not the type that will leave it in the plastic. It's like, no, I bought this. I'm gonna listen to this.
yeah.
You know, because like
Yeah.
I'm never gonna sell this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna happen.
The equivalent of a trailer queen. You ever heard of that phrase?
No. Sounds interesting. I think.
In the hot rod and drag racing world, there are trailer queens, and trailer queens are cars that will only make it to a car show on a trailer. They will
Yeah,
start
yeah.
it up, put it onto the floor,
Yeah.
park it. It'll never see asphalt. It'll never see pavement. It'll never go for a Sunday drive.
Yeah. It
It
sits
is
in
a
the
trailer
garage.
queen.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Right. So, what is the point in having a beautiful hot rod, a beautiful piece of art, a beautiful piece of work if you can't enjoy it other than to
Yeah.
stare at it?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah, me
if-
neither.
it's like, it just you wait. I'll call it waste your money on some of this stuff, because you're investing time and thousands of dollars, like say, into a vehicle, and to never drive it, it's just
Yeah. Yep.
it's backwards.
Well,
I mean,
yeah. But there are those people out there that'll do that, right? Like
yeah,
I have comic books. They're bagged and boarded, but I still read them,
yeah.
right?
You'd be a little more careful with them. Like you're
Yeah.
not gonna like eat Cheetos and I mean unless you're into that. I mean that's your own deal.
Yeah.
But
And my fingerprint goes right there. That
Yep.
way this comic book
Yep.
is mine.
right, scribble your name on the front cover with a Sharpie. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
So when the new Eve 6 album drops, I have a feeling that you and I should, maybe not collectively, but separately, listen, and then we'll see if all this Twitter hype is.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Let's see if for some reason I want to say it's already out.
Is it now? If it is, I mean, it would have shown up on their Twitter after all.
They had a new there was a single.
And that's what you listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was okay. I mean, it's no Inside Out or Here's to the Night or Think Twice.
Yeah.
I actually just named a song off each of their albums. Figure that out. Off their first three, anyways.
Oh, there you go.
I like them. Okay, doesn't matter.
I'm not saying they're bad. When I initially discovered what Spotify was, Eve 6 Inside Out was like one of the first songs I added to my playlist. It's
a great song. It's a great song. Little old now, but
what is it?
Yeah, exactly. We got time for some more stuff, or you gonna
A little bit more.
Okay. I guess we'll talk about the. This one's more interesting, I think. So
Sure.
there's two things I was going to talk about. This one's more interesting because it's a little more onto what we were talking about at the top of the show. Super Mario World, Japan.
Sounds like a fun place to visit.
It's a theme park, and it's
Definitely
supposed to be
sounds like a fun place to visit.
like there's supposed to be roller coasters and all sorts of things. Is supposedly you were gone there for a second. I can actually look this up for a minute.
Sure.
They're opening on March 18th in the middle of the pandemic.
What?
Yeah. I don't.
Why?
I don't get it. Like, Super Mario World will open at Universal Studios Japan on March 18th, the company announced Monday. The theme park's new land will include Mario Kart and Yoshi-themed rides, attractions, and other experiences. Its opening will kick off the 20th anniversary celebration of the park of Universal Studios in Japan. I mean, I like the idea of it, like what they're trying to do. You know, like it's a Nintendo-themed park, right? You know, like who doesn't want to go like see Super Mario World in real life?
Oh, well, I mean, come on. Anyone who has the cognitive ability at this day and age can relate and completely, be obsessed or at some point in time be entertained by something Nintendo.
Yeah,
So,
like anything.
yeah.
So I think I know why they're trying to do it. I mean,
Why?
it's just like the same as any other company. I mean, Nintendo maybe not, but like maybe Universal Studios like short on cash. So they open to the public to try and recoup some of the COVID losses and, push forward. Or they just don't give a shit.
Where did you read that initial statement?
It was on Google this morning when I was at work.
Okay.
Why?
I'm just trying to make sure that I wasn't doubling up on the same statement here.
Yeah.
The park currently has 2 rides, one themed after Mario Kart and the other themed around Yoshi, Mario's companion, and Vehicular Dinosaur. Late last year, Nintendo dedicated a miniature real-life Nintendo Direct to the new park. The park contains all types of spectacular Mario-themed merch and food, lots of mushrooms, which can
Yeah.
get which you can get a closer look at via the digital walkthrough on the Nintendo World website. Super Nintendo World. With Nintendo World almost here, the real question now becomes, when will it be safe enough to get my hands on the Nintendo Mario pancake sandwich? I again, like
I it's people jumping the gun.
I I don't even feel comfortable going to the grocery store or the local
Yeah.
Timmy's or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like I I the last time I grabbed a Tim Hortons because I desperately needed a coffee and I was running around about, I could not bring myself to actually grab the cup, open the lid, and take a drink without going into the glove box and wiping it down with a disinfectant. Right? Like,
I mean,
I
I'm definitely not that extreme when it comes
okay.
to deal with. I mean, and to each your own. I don't judge people. It's like I do judge people that don't wear a mask, and I do judge people that like treat the rules like they're nothing. But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like, I mean, I won't go that extreme.
Not like I'm all for the idea and the concept of like, yeah, sign me up to go and play Super Mario Kart with balloons and bumper cars, or even
Yeah,
go onto a racetrack, or like maybe there's some sort of tube ride, plumber slide, or something.
something.
Sign me the hell up. I definitely.
Yeah,
But Jesus, like I'm afraid to leave my own town.
yeah,
Like I'm not going to be traveling to Japan anytime soon, let alone any other country.
yeah. Fun fact though, there is one opening in the States in 2025.
Well, fine.
Yeah. By then we might be out of it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I
But
don't, I don't know.
oh, that is disappointing.
Yeah. It's something, like I don't even know what to say anymore. Like we're a year into this. Like we're literally a year into this, and I'm just sick of it. So
I'm so I have a collection of retro Nintendo games
I can
behind
see
me right
them.
here.
There's
Yes.
at least 7 there.
Yeah. And I'm just looking like cuz looking at things that are to this day exclusive to Nintendo. Like there's other games out there that are basically third party. Like of
Yeah.
course you have like Simpsons games and different wrestling games and whatnot. But I'm just like, what else could be at this theme park that like I would be all for checking out, all for being a part of, seeing whatever.
I just
And again, like there's nothing that would make me so excited to travel there or anywhere to experience it until it is safe, like healthy,
Yeah.
safe,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's kind of wanted to bring it up. It's like I love the idea of it, but the opening, I maybe they don't have as many um issues over there as we do. Like I don't know. I don't look at other countries' numbers. I barely look at my own country's numbers. I look at my own
I
province, right? Like that's
I yeah, I unfortunately do look at the numbers and
yeah.
Australia, New Zealand, China, um, uh, a few other countries like they got things under control, like insanely under control.
Yeah.
Canada is not the greatest, but we're not the worst either.
Yeah, we live right
The
next door to the worst though.
yeah, as Robin Williams once put it, is it just me or is Canada like the loft apartment above a really great party? No, we've now turned into the hotel suite above the crack house.
Yes. Yeah.
And again, not saying that all Americans are bad, not saying that all Americans
Oh, no.
are crazy and don't care, but like shit's getting out of control.
Oh, don't kid yourself though. There's people around here that are like that too.
Oh, there's people around here too.
Yeah.
And they call themselves, I forget what the hell they call themselves. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to give them any
No.
publicity anyway.
No.
But they're crazy, and they think these incredibly insane conspiracy theories, so much so that every once in a while they'll try to contact my radio stations or even the news TV station with accusations and theories, conspiracy theories, and all that stuff. And it's just like, where just lay off the toilet bowl cleaner.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Hi.
It's so disappointing. Japan is definitely one of the places that I do want to visit, before my time is up on this mortal coil. But it's like, come on, a week away.
Yeah, it's a little early, but is what it is.
I guess.
Yeah.
What was the last thing you wanted to bring up?
Starlink. Elon Musk's old Muskie's satellite internet service.
Okay.
Is now available in Canada.
Is it now?
And you're too far north.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, you're I'm actually right at the cusp.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does it entail?
So what they do, they send you a satellite dish, you plug it in to power outside, obviously.
Okay.
And you plug it into your router. It automatically finds the satellite dishes, and you have great internet, like better than what I have in my house right now, but you pay for it.
Well, clearly.
The setup. He's been doing circles for like the last 20 minutes. Loki, he's just been like just being dumb. Anyways, it's like $700 to buy the dish, and then it's well over $100 a month.
What's the point?
Well, it's internet service. So like take what you're paying now. I mean, I don't know what you're paying. I know what I'm paying, and it's lots.
I know what I'm paying for my current internet service, as well as the cable package that's attached, and it's $140 a month.
Okay, that's not horrible.
No.
I pay $95 a month for
not horrible
for just internet. What this is going to be? Yeah, it's $100 a month for internet, plus you got to buy the equipment, which I guess looking at it that way isn't horrible. The speeds are there. Whatever. It's the idea is great. I will probably adopt it later when it's more accessible and maybe a bit cheaper. The reason why I was going to bring this up though is I was on my way to work the other morning, and I go to work when it's dark, and we can see the Starlink satellites going across the sky, and it is messed up because there's a there's a line of like 35 satellites in a perfectly straight line going across the sky. It's just like a straight line. It's like we're cruising along. I drive with my cousin. I kind of just look over and like, what in the fuck is that? He's like, what? He's thinking we're gonna hit a deer or something. It's like, no. I point out the window. He's like, oh, that's fucking weird. But it's like the second time we've seen it. It happens you don't see them all the time, but like every once in a while you see it. It's like what the fuck? But
so I'm too far north to see this.
Yes.
Damn.
Well, you might not be too far north to see it, but I mean, I know you're definitely too far north to get the
reception.
service. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because north of me, like, I think, like I said, we're right at the cusp of northern, but they say the speeds are there, and eventually it'll be like they'll have more satellites to serve everybody around, like even up to where like farther north than you. So.
Interesting. It does raise the overall concern of like space debris and traffic and whatnot. I mean, there is the legitimate worry that there's going to be too much stuff up there at some point in time where we are basically locked in. We cannot leave, and it's not like you send something out, to orbit uh, like a screwdriver.
Yeah.
Like every gravity. Um, when things are out there in space orbiting, unless they are deliberately and very specifically put in place with a proper amount of speed and precision and even like adjustment thrusters or whatever,
Yep.
they will eventually just continue to pick up speed. And no matter how big it is or what size it is or what speed it initially started with the inertia,
Mhm.
it'll get up to a point where it's just a laser beam.
Yeah,
of
like
just
to like 24,000 miles per second or something. But
Yeah.
that's the speed. Like they calculate that. But the thing is, like that stuff will eventually just burn up in the atmosphere. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I mean that's usually the end game for it. But
Yeah, exactly. It's very rare for anything to actually make landfall these days.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Again, I can't even think of the last time anything's made landfall. Knock on wood.
yeah, yeah. Nothing I can remember, like anything big. Well, there's a couple meteors around here, but I mean that's meteors. I mean you can't control that shit. So
No. Well, that's interesting. The only thing that comes to mind when I think about Elon Musk is
old
I
Muskie.
one of my biggest regrets is like I I have investments, I have stocks, I have bonds, I have stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Years ago, I looked at Tesla.
And you didn't buy, didn't you? Did you?
I did not buy, and Tesla was $4 a share.
Whoops.
But that's the stock market. I mean,
Oh.
you look at EA Sports. Before it was EA Sports, it was just Electronic Arts,
Yep.
right? It was 78 cents a share.
Yep.
Last I looked this morning, it was $127 a share.
And how many times did those shares split?
Oh yeah, no, quite a few times.
Yeah.
Yes. But at the same time, like $127 a share, and it came down since the announcement of Anthem shutting down. It used to be like 3 weeks ago, $140 a share.
Yeah.
Like Jesus, smart, cute, adorable little Daryl with a piggy bank. Like, Dad, I want to buy Electronic Arts, and like,
Yeah.
here's $5. Like,
Yeah. And yeah, hindsight is 2020 though.
exactly.
It's what it is.
There's a Rob Van Dam movie about that sort of thing too.
What?
Time Cop.
You just hurt my brain there. Like
Time Cop
like
initially starts off as a movie.
You mean
where
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
you
said Rob
Van Dam,
the wrestler. I'm like
Jean-Claude Van
Yeah.
Damme. Yes.
Okay.
There's Jean-Claude Van Damme's Time Cop.
right. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah.
He starts off the movie by going back in time to stop another time traveler from investing in General Motors when it was like pennies
Nothing.
a share.
Yeah. It was probably himself.
No.
Whatever.
Anyway.
Well, I think that's about it. That's about all the stuff I got written down, and that's episode 2 in the books.
I'm looking forward to hearing what Eve 6 has to offer.
It's mediocre.
Yeah. Well, I follow them on Twitter now, so at least they can be some sort of source of entertainment.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, I'm Daryl.
I'm JD.
And this has been episode 2. And we are out. Bye-bye.